What's going on, guys? I'm Dan, this is Scented Waters, and today I have a few fragrances from Happyland Studios that I think you guys should check out. But before we go any further, how about you hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell. So not too long ago, I did a smell and rate when it came to Happyland Studios with Chad from A Gentleman's Journey. I'll leave the link in the description area to that video and to his channel. But after that video, EJ Wells from Happyland Studios hit me up and said, I appreciate your honesty. Let me send out a few that you might have liked in your smell and rate that you don't have, and also a few more extra goodies. So, okay, I appreciate it. With him sending these fragrances out for free, that doesn't give a free pass to a great review. But that being said, the 5 fragrances that he sent out to me are Green Irish Tobacco, 7, Cravat Noir, Homme for the Holidays, and KIR Caf. The video that I did with Chad, those fragrances were actually from Cam from Carolina Fragrance Reviews, so those fragrances were not mine. So those fragrances that I liked, he actually sent to me as well. So I think it came with Plum Loco, Happyland Signature, Rhyolite, and I think one more, El Barbershop, which are bangers. So I'm not even gonna go over those. With that being said, first up, 7. Now, before I get into that, all the bottles are pretty much the same style, except for 7 and Green Irish Tobacco. They're black and the other ones are clear with a different type of label. And another thing I gotta point out with all these fragrances, the sprayers on here are beastly. I don't know if you see that, but that's just amazing. Did you see that stream? It's pretty dope. Nice big old mist. It's a beast sprayer. So, like I said, first up, 7. When it comes to 7, it's a clean, slightly powdery, slightly floral fragrance. I feel it's a very clean scent, but with that powdery aspect, it kind of gives me a vein of Burberry Touch, but it's not a clone whatsoever. But it's a clean fragrance that I feel that it just works perfect for the spring and summer, mainly spring in my opinion. So I'm looking to get more wearings into then, but in the time that I wore it, it did last probably like about 6 hours. It could have lasted a little bit longer, but I think when I wore it, it was a cooler day. But down here in Florida, cool days for us is in the 60s. We don't get that often. And that day, that week was just pretty odd for us. With this one, it's a very pleasing fragrance, a people-pleasing fragrance. It's like, I don't think you're gonna get someone to say that they don't like it. It is a very clean fragrance. In my opinion, I don't think you can go wrong with this one. If you're not really into the powdery vibe, this one might not be for you, but the slight powderiness, I can see how some people might not like it because of the powdery vibe, but it is still a very clean scent. Given a scale rating 1 out of 10, I give this fragrance, no pun intended, a 7. It's actually a pretty dope fragrance. To me, it's not groundbreaking, but it's a very nice clean scent that I feel will work great for the spring and summer, mainly spring. So I'm looking forward to trying this out in spring and seeing how it works for me then. So first up, 7. So next up is KIR Caf. What you get with KIR Caf is pretty much coffee and a slight leather at the beginning. To me, the coffee is very dominant at the beginning. I like this fragrance a lot. First fragrance that I smelled that came up with coffee was Dark Night from Alexandria, which is their take on Kilian's Black Phantom. Very nice coffee fragrance with some chocolate in there and whatnot, but that was the first one. Then after that, it was Intense Cafe by Montal. This one pretty much fell in suit with those type of fragrances. This one's just a little bit stronger of a roasted coffee for me, and then the leather in the background. Now further into the dry down, the leather starts popping up a little bit more where it becomes a little bit more even. In my opinion, this is a dope fragrance for the fall and winter. Works perfect for the cold weather in my opinion. That leather aspect that comes up a little bit stronger later, it works great. The compliments that I got with these were all positive. There was no bad feedback. If anybody had something bad to say, they didn't say it to me or to anybody else that I know of. For me, scale rating 1 out of 10, I give this one a solid 9. Out of all the Happyland fragrances, this is one of the top 5 fragrances that I like the most. KIR Caf, dope, coffee and leather, get your nose on it. Next one up is Green Irish Tobacco. Green Irish Tobacco, when I saw this name, is one of the ones that caught my attention the most because I like tobacco fragrances. I like Green Irish Tweed. That's the vibe that I was assuming was with this. When it comes to Green Irish Tobacco, what do I get? It's not what I expected. First off, I get somewhat of a bubblegum, cinnamon candy type vibe with a little bit of Green Irish Tweed in there. The Green Irish Tweed, it comes and goes for me on how strong I can smell it. It's a very nice, pleasant scent, but once again, it's not what I expected, so it kind of let me down a little bit, if that makes any sense. It's still a dope fragrance if you came with no expectations. My problem is I came with an expectations. It didn't reach that expectation, so I felt disappointed. But that all aside, that Green Irish Tweed vibe is there. It's not as strong as I thought. I like it. And also the tobacco, I don't feel is there as much. If it's there, I don't smell it as much. I smell more of the bubblegummy cinnamon vibe in there. But once again, if you come to it with no expectations, pretty much like the Blue Fire had a different expectation, so it kind of disappointed me. So that being said, that happened with this as well. To me, the bubblegum vibe kind of reminds me of a Le Male from Jean Paul Gaultier and a slight Green Irish Tweed. It's more candy-ish on the bubblegum vibe to me, which I'm not really too into too much. I like sweet fragrances, but the candy vibes, I'm not sure if I'm into them yet. Or at least in this one, it's not my vibe as much. It's not a bad fragrance, it's just not what I expected. On top of all that, the tobacco I feel is not present, or maybe it's just my nose not picking it up. Maybe I need to check this back out in spring to see if this macerates a little bit more and maybe becomes a little bit more stronger in the tobacco. Who knows? I need to give it a chance. So when it comes to Green Irish Tobacco, a 5 when it comes to 1 out of 10. Next on the list is Homme for the Holidays. This one is perfect for the holidays. What I get is mainly coffee, spices, and a little bit of ambery aspect later on into the dry down. But honestly, it's not so much of a transforming fragrance for me. What you smell at the beginning is pretty much what you get. It kind of smooths out a little bit later on, but that coffee is still very present throughout the whole fragrance, and so are the spices. There's pumpkin spice in it, amber, coffee, and I think a few other notes, but honestly, this is the perfect fragrance, in my opinion, for the holiday season. I actually wore this for Thanksgiving, got great compliments, and I'm planning on wearing this for Christmas as well. It has a hat on it as well, so it's, once again, it was made for the season. Homme for the Holidays, I feel if you're into those gourmandish coffee fragrances, definitely get your nose on this one. Homme for the Holidays, I feel it's a banger. Oh, 1 out of 10, I give this a 9. I like it a lot. So, Homme for the Holidays. Last fragrance up, Cravat Noir. Their take on YSL Tuxedo, but amped up in the right places, as they say. I actually had a decant of YSL Tuxedo, which was in my video. I think it was the One House for Life for all 4 seasons, something like that. But I had the fragrance, but I gave it away. I don't fully remember the scent too much, but when smelling this, it does remind me of it. But what aspects that they bumped up, I don't remember. I don't remember, honestly, but I can tell you this fragrance, Cravat Noir, it's a banger. In my opinion, it's such a dope scent that is a sophisticated, nice date night fragrance that I feel works great for the nighttime, great for just to cuddle up situations. I've gotten great compliments with this one. This one was just dope. When I wore it, I think I got at least 4 compliments for that day. A few notes of smoked patchouli, amber, and vanilla. Honestly, whatever they bumped up from the YSL Tuxedo DNA, they did a great job with this one. Cravat Noir, if you're into the YSL Tuxedo line or just the scent itself, definitely check this one out for a great price as well. I think they're like $49 for a 50 mil or a 60 mil. I don't remember, but I'll leave the website at the bottom and definitely check them out. Cravat Noir is one of my favorites. I give this a scale rating 1 out of 10, a 9. Like I said, most of these fragrances I love, but there's a few that I don't care for. But this one and majority of the ones that I've smelled have been bangers. Cravat Noir does not disappoint at all, at least not for me. So, Cravat Noir. Let me know in the comment section if you want to be entered for 3 ml decants of each one of these fragrances, and boom, you're in. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that bell. Happyland Studios, bangers in my opinion. Definitely get your nose on them. But at the end of the day, still scented water.